not wondering, I'll tell. Vaporizer. As I spill. Vaporizer is your best friend during the middle of this. Helped my spinal injury by basically allowing me to relax enough to be bored and sit here, to allow myself to heal, and find out what actually does work. Being that, well, I won't say humans, I'm not patient enough to really find that, okay, I'll just explain it just how it is. It's like, you wake up one day, not one day, you get hit by a car, and you wake up in the hospital and find that you think that you're gonna be paralyzed for the rest of your life, and you're happy to find out then, as they drug you and take you to surgery even though you didn't ask for it, you find out after you get out of a coma that you will hopefully have use of your arms and things, and you immediately see that you do. So you're okay with that. And then a few months go by and you forget that you were that happy, and you start realizing the things that you can do. Like, you, for instance, can't stay up for more than 2 or 3 hours. Amazingly enough, like, who would think a spinal injury would affect your staying awake? But it does. So aside from staying awake, you find that even doing little tasks like your laundry or changing your sheets on your new king-size bed that you got thinking that it was going to help you sleep better, in fact, add other problems, that you physically don't have the muscle stamina in your back muscles to be able to do anything long going. So I won't say pain you're feeling, but if I hadn't had been an athlete, and I don't even say athlete, if I didn't cycle and realize the pain of lactic acid, okay, which feels like burning, okay, that's what you feel in your back. So basically the muscles aren't healing because you're overworking them all the time, because they got lazy when you were hurt and didn't have use. So you were on this thing called bed rest, right? No ambulatory or no walking, no true strenuous exercise, right? So you don't have this true strenuous exercise, so you start realizing that your muscles are dying, and it's called, they're atrophying. So the way to fight this is by exercise. So you go to a chiropractor, and none of the doctors solve the issue, is what I will say. They will all do enough so that you can get by. Literally, get by. That's it. So I was lucky enough to go to school for a lot of things, and like a lot of kids, I changed a lot of majors, but the last major before I realized I didn't need to be there was medicine. Like, I went to a school that specialized in occupational therapy and physical therapy. So basically, while I was in pre-med, I had all of these other courses that these other essentially pre-med students were doing, but because they weren't going to be doctors, they had to have all these super facilities in my school, right? So I got to take gross anatomy as an undergraduate, which now I find is very rare, okay? Most colleges probably don't even offer it to an undergraduate because they don't want you to get that expertise early. They don't want you to get that expertise without paying for a medical degree. So I was lucky enough to get all that. So basically, through knowing this stuff, I'll say on how, I won't say knowing, because I'll say the basics of understanding the principles of how your muscles work and how your body interacts allows you to have a different opinion than most. So right off the bat, I knew that I had a year to heal, meaning that anything that I do not regenerate within this first year of being injured is permanently gone. So I knew that from day one. And knowing that put a different fire beneath my ass because it's like you only have a year to heal. So anything that you don't get back within that year is gone permanently. And this is known by all the doctors. But yet the first surgeon, right out of post-op, told me that it was going to take me a year to heal. So he's already give you a defeatist attitude beforehand. And he doesn't know that I know this. And then you check it out, and anyone can Google it, I hope. Or not even Google it. Check by 10 sources, okay? JAMA would be your best source of medical information. Not Wikipedia. Not WebMD. Okay, but it's just my opinion. So, basically you realize that you're being lied to by the doctors, and they are not here to help you. A doctor is here to prolong your treatment. And I don't mean on purpose prolong, I mean by it makes him money to help you by prolonging the treatment as long as possible, and it might not be as conducive for you as your pockets. See? It's conducive to his pockets. So, it's another discussion. But basically, they don't inform you of anything pertinent to get you healed as quickly as possible. So you have to circumvent them. You have to use their information that they're willing to give you and basically do your own treatment. Flat out what it is in America. Like, we pay for the top-notch stuff but don't get top-notch treatment. Like, it makes no sense. Like, literally, the other day I paid $1,000 to have a surgical tooth pulled. And I had no insurance, but you find out it's $300 or $400, but I'm in this little rich area, so the doctor feels it's worth it. And granted, during his procedure, it was the best I've ever had. Afterwards, the most pain I've ever had. So, I won't say the most pain I've ever had, but it wasn't what a wisdom tooth should be. So, I use that as an example to be like, hey, I had a doctor who was charging me money for chiropractic work. I had a doctor who was charging me for neural surgery work. I had a doctor who was charging me for neural damage. Or, not a brain surgery, but a neuropathy, which is nerves, I think, doctor. And basically, none of them could tell me what the end consultant told me on the phone during my last checkup. Who was a PA, a physician's assistant. And the physician's assistant told me that my own regimen of yoga and exercise was fine. And I cycle, right? I cycle avidly. It's why I feel that I was taken as a candidate for the surgery in the first place. Because I was in shape. I'm 43 and in shape. Like, that's not rare, but it's not prevalent either. So basically, I'm a black male who's 43 and in shape and hit by a car with a break on his bone that is no bigger than the size of your pinky finger on a spine that is almost about the size of my hand, okay? And a cord in here. This little spinal cord is what everybody's dying to protect. There truly wasn't no danger because I have the x-rays. So you start realizing this is all about money. So you're lucky enough to basically get hit by somebody who had insurance, and everybody else has realized this but you immediately. I'm gonna let everybody pause on that real quick. Everybody else has realized this but you, because you're the one who's injured and you don't know the standard cost, the standard settlement, the standard anything on this that's done every day. This has happened to someone else before, so the doctors, nurses, insurance companies, everyone who's involved realize that all these aspects of this stuff is going on, but you, because this is your first instance, and you're hurt. So you aren't thinking about money, you aren't thinking about any of this. All you know is I'm fucking hurt, and I want to not be in pain. Literally, that's all you're concerned with. So I'll just let everybody marinate on that real quick while I get a vape pen. Thank you. Or I edit this out later on, so. They aren't meant to help you. And that's okay. It's only to a point. So basically, I use their appointments to give me information and finding a machine that massages through electronical stimulation for impulses, right? And I'm grabbing the little machine because it's funny that I spent $1,000 on probably 10 sessions of this little machine that I got from AliExpress, right? Thank you, AliExpress. Basically, it was $23 from China. And it's a little, almost smaller than cell phone sized unit that works off of some lithium ion battery, and you plug it in and it basically shocks you. And I say that laughing because it's literally, at first the stimulation is more like a tickled. If you turn it up, it's almost like being tased, yes, but it's necessary because of the fact that your muscles move through electric stimulus, and that basically forces them to move. The muscles are atrophied and locked, and basically that is what is necessary to move them to get strong enough to be able to physically do a push-up, for instance. Because that's what's basically hurt, is the muscle that controls that and everything else. And then the muscles, the secondary, atrophied because of the fact that you were sitting in this unactive state for so long. So basically, your muscles are dying, and that helps get them going again. And most of the doctors have these things and know this information and don't tell you. So I had never used one. When I went to school, it was, 2000? I graduated in 03, so it was like 90s. Oh, yeah. 90s. Like, literally. So it's like, this stuff was known about and used slightly, but not as prevalently as being able to order it on the internet and have it here in like 20 days and for $20. And that was my jump start. And then I have a friend that's basically a beast of an athlete, and he's gargantuan and works out all the time, and he gave me this little push-up roller thing because I was struggling with push-ups, and I used to be able to do 100 push-ups a day easy. Like, so he gave me this an ab crunch roller thing on that, and I was able to do it. And so then I bought a yoga mat and was able to do that. And then now he told me the point I'm at now, whereas I ordered a bike, I've been waiting for a month. I ordered 3 bikes, to be honest, but and I want to cycle again, as we already know from the other videos. And I was forced to wait because I physically wasn't ready. Like, I mentally want to go, but I could have gotten out there and just gotten killed or something. Like, I wasn't strong enough to be able to do it because I was barely strong enough to be able to do these rubber bands he just told me to get. Okay, the giant little rubber bands that everybody does, I laughed at them because I'm from the era of weights, right? I do weights and physical exercise. Okay, cool. We're working on a freaking rubber band. To me, it seemed laughable. Until you got one and realized, like, oh crap, they're strong as crap. It's like weight. Okay, it's resistance. It's no big deal. So you start seeing, like, oh crap, like, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. You're not even as strong as a baby. Like, you're weak as shit. You have no concept of how weak you really are at this point in time. Until you start doing the stuff, you're like, dang, I can do 1 push-up, cause your whole body to break out in sweat. Okay, then you get up to 5. You're like, okay, cool. You get up to 10. You're like, yeah. But you're still doing girl push-ups. I'm not talking regular, but you did all that to get up to 10. Now, I can do like 5 regular ones, yeah. But it's amazingly difficult. Amazingly. And it's not difficult in the aspect of it hurts, or it's just like when you're fat and out of shape, it's difficult. I've been there. I grew up as a fat kid, so I know it's very easy to think that just because it's difficult that it's not something you're supposed to be doing or not supposed to be painful. No, it is. It's supposed to hurt. It's what it is. If you want to have a full body again, you're going to go through the pain to not have the pain of not being able to do the things that you enjoy. So that's the way I think about it. So being in pain for that, I don't mind at all. So I do the rubber bands now, and lo and behold, new bike finally appears in stock. The one I want. Now, granted, because it's now, the bike is far more expensive than I thought, and I need to do certain upgrades to it that I will show because of the spinal injury. So basically, I used to road cycle avidly. I started out in single track, and I have still a love for all of them. And at first I bought a mountain bike, and then I realized, well, I might not be able to do that with full suspension supposedly, but I really wouldn't use it as much as I wanted to. Sorry, Chain Reaction Cycles and Bike Warehouse. And I do love Wiggle Cycles though, because they are the ones who are gonna get it to me, I think, on Monday finally. So basically, I have to order a special seat post and a special stem to basically absorb the vibration, because now I wanted a gravel bike. Got it? And it'll be here. I'll do a review of all that, and hopefully all the other accessories that came with all of this stuff and my new studio move that I basically have done. And trying to get stronger for all of this was the arduous part, was realizing that you physically are not as strong as you think you are, when everyone who's had an injury like this that I shared on Facebook or Strava was basically telling me to take it much slower than I'm doing. And they were right. They were all completely right. I was not as far along as I honestly thought. I ordered a couch and basically thought I could put it together easy. It took me all day. And when you look at it, it's like nothing. It's literally like 4 backstops and your couch comes in a box or whatever. It's not big. It's a couch and a chase. Like, it should not be this arduous thing for me to do for 2 days. That's about what it took finally to get it, because it was out and open and the boxes and all that good stuff that you don't think moving a box is hard. The box is as big as me. That's no big deal. I should be able to tear that up and move it. I've done it before. No. You're a baby. You forget that. There's nothing wrong with this, but you're a baby status. Like you can't pick up nothing. You can't move nothing. You can't have any type of physical strength that you thought you had. Is gone. Right? So get used to that. So you realize that you need to slow down and start taking your time and do everything much slower than you used to do. So now you start taking days to do things that used to take you hours. Things that used to take you hours now take all day. So you slow everything down, and that's okay. But this teaches you appreciation for other things that you didn't get when you were running around. Like, you start realizing that you can get more accomplished if you slow down, simply because you slow down and plan it out much more methodically. So it doesn't take as much effort as we all do to do things. You just need to plan it a little better, baby. Because I'm actually getting more done now than I did when I was able to move around. So that's kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I can still move around. And all I am is healing now. And I realize every day that I get stronger that it's not as bad as I thought. Like, literally, I'm stronger now than I was in the beginning of the video. Think about it like that. As time goes by, you're stronger. So the time thing is benefiting you. So why not just use your pause on slow down in life, which is like freezing time a little bit, and be okay. And realize that the healing part is just a step in the process, and you need to trust that process, and everything will be okay. So just because you broke your back doesn't mean that you won't be normal again. It just means that you'll never be the same. And that's okay, because anyone who's okay with being the same as they were yesterday is pretty much a fool to me, because they didn't learn anything from the present, and that is a gift of today. So with that, I bid you all adieu, and have a good day. Ride hard and live long.